Imagine stepping out into your backyard, breathing in the fresh air, and being greeted by a beautiful rustic garden fence that perfectly complements your home. It's not just a fence, it's a statement of warmth, charm, and tranquility. Have you ever dreamed of creating a peaceful, cozy oasis right at home, where you can sit and relax, enjoying the beauty of nature while also feeling a sense of accomplishment? If you've been thinking about transforming your outdoor space but don't know where to start, today's video is exactly what you need. Welcome to Golden Seniors Gardening, where we share tips and transformation videos to help you live the best life. Stick around because today we're diving into 8 brilliant rustic garden fence ideas that will bring new life to your backyard. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just beginning, these ideas will inspire you to create a backyard retreat you'll love. As we get older, the need for a peaceful, beautiful space at home becomes even more important. Our gardens are no longer just places we pass through. They become our sanctuary and the centerpiece of any beautiful garden. A well-crafted fence. Not only does a fence provide privacy and security, but it can also bring personality and character to your garden. If you've been considering updating your backyard, a rustic fence could be just the touch you need. In today's video, we'll walk through 8 rustic fence ideas that can transform any backyard into a dreamy, peaceful retreat. First idea, the classic wooden picket fence. Let's start with the timeless wooden picket fence. It's a simple, charming option that evokes nostalgia. Picture a warm, sunny afternoon, sitting on your porch and watching the sunlight filter through the gaps in a perfectly placed picket fence. For seniors, a picket fence is a manageable DIY project. All you need is a little elbow grease, some quality wood, and a paint color that suits your style. I remember my friend Ruth, who in her late 70s decided to replace the chain link fence in her backyard with a wooden picket fence. At first, she thought it was too big of a project for her, but with a little help from her grandchildren, she had it up in no time. The sense of accomplishment when she sat down in her newly fenced-in garden was something she could hardly put into words. It wasn't just a fence, it was a space where she could now sit, feel safe, and enjoy the company of friends and family. This type of fence is not only affordable, but can also be customized to your liking. You can choose between natural wood finishes or opt for a painted white picket fence for that classic look. If you enjoy DIY projects, this is a perfect option to get your hands dirty and create something beautiful that adds charm to your space. Second idea, the rustic log fence. For those who love the natural beauty of wood, the log fence is an excellent option. This style features logs stacked horizontally or vertically to create a unique rustic look. It can instantly give your garden a cozy woodland feel. If you have a bit more space and enjoy the idea of a fence that blends beautifully with the natural surroundings, a log fence is the way to go. This style works particularly well if you live near wooded areas or in places where the natural landscape is already filled with trees. Picture yourself sitting outside with a cup of tea, surrounded by the scent of pine and the rustling of leaves, with a log fence acting as a natural boundary between you and the rest of the world. I think of Tom, a man in his early 70s who decided to build a log fence after spending years maintaining a traditional wooden one. He wanted something that would feel more connected to nature. The log fence he built became a symbol of his love for the outdoors, and it even became a conversation piece for his neighbors. Not only did it give his backyard a rustic, peaceful vibe, but it also became a fun project that he could do at his own pace. Building a log fence might sound like a big task, but it's actually a relatively simple process that can be done over a series of weekends. And the best part? The materials can often be sourced locally, making it both cost-effective and sustainable. Third idea, the woven willow fence. Now let's move on to a unique and eco-friendly option. The woven willow fence, made from flexible willow branches that are expertly woven into a frame. This style offers a natural and beautiful look that's perfect for creating a secluded garden retreat. It's a great way to combine both function and beauty, providing privacy while also showcasing the beauty of nature. I had the privilege of seeing a woven willow fence at my cousin's home in the countryside. It was nothing like the typical fences I had seen before. The branches, woven tightly together, created a warm and inviting atmosphere. It was like stepping into a little hidden oasis, and it immediately made the garden feel more peaceful and private. For seniors, this could be a lovely project to start because it doesn't require heavy lifting or complicated tools. The willow branches are light and easy to handle, and you can even purchase pre-made panels to simplify the process. As the willow ages, it only gets more beautiful, adding a timeless touch to your garden. Now that we've talked about these three ideas, the classic wooden picket fence, the rustic log fence, and the woven willow fence, let's take a moment to think about how these fences can truly transform your backyard. Whether you're looking for privacy, charm, or a touch of nature, there's a rustic fence style that will make your garden shine. But don't go anywhere just yet, because we still have a few more creative fence ideas to share that will inspire you to get started on your own backyard transformation. Fourth idea, the reclaimed wood fence. Now let's talk about something that feels both timeless and personal, the reclaimed wood fence. If you love the idea of using materials that have a story to tell, this one's for you. Reclaimed wood comes from old barns, sheds, or even pallets that have been salvaged and repurposed into something beautiful. Each piece carries its own history, and when used to build a fence, it adds a rustic lived-in charm that's hard to replicate with new materials. I remember my neighbor George, who retired a few years ago and decided he wanted to give his backyard a little extra love. Instead of buying brand new wood, he reached out to a local salvage yard and picked up some old barn wood. The result was a gorgeous fence that looked like it had been there for decades, even though it was brand new. George told me he loved the idea of giving new life to old wood, and it brought him so much joy to see his yard transformed with materials that had their own stories to tell. Not only is a reclaimed wood fence sustainable and affordable, but it also adds a unique rustic character to your garden that can't be replicated with mass-produced materials. Each piece of wood has its own patina, color, and texture, which means your fence will be one of a kind. And if you love the idea of going green, this is a fantastic way to repurpose and reuse materials that might otherwise go to waste. Fifth idea, the wrought iron and wood combination fence. If you're looking for something a little more elegant but still with that rustic vibe, the wrought iron and wood combination fence might be the perfect option. This fence combines the sturdy, enduring strength of wrought iron with the warmth and charm of wood. The iron elements give it a sophisticated look while the wood keeps it grounded and natural. A few years ago, my friend Carol decided to upgrade her garden with a wrought iron and wood combination fence after her old, tired chain-link fence became an eyesore. She chose a simple design with wrought iron posts and wooden panels in between. The result? A fence that looked both classy and welcoming. Carol said it felt like she was bringing a little bit of old-world charm into her backyard. And now every time she steps out into her garden, she feels like she's transported to a peaceful countryside retreat. The beauty of this combination is that it gives you the best of both worlds. You get the durability of wrought iron, which can withstand the elements, and the warmth and natural beauty of wood. Plus, it's incredibly versatile, whether you have a traditional or more modern home. A wrought iron and wood fence can complement any style. Sixth idea, the bamboo fence. For those who are looking for something eco-friendly and a bit more tropical, the bamboo fence is a fantastic option. Bamboo is not only one of the fastest growing plants on earth, but it also gives a garden a calming, zen-like quality. It's perfect for creating an atmosphere that feels private, serene, and connected to nature. I have a friend named Linda who lives in a small suburban neighborhood, but she wanted her backyard to feel like a peaceful escape from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. She decided to build a bamboo fence along the perimeter of her garden. It didn't take long before she was able to sit on her porch, sipping her tea, and enjoying the soft rustling of the bamboo leaves in the wind. The bamboo fence became her sanctuary, and every time I visited, I could feel the tranquility the fence created. Bamboo fences are relatively easy to install and require minimal maintenance. The bamboo poles can be arranged in a variety of ways, whether you prefer a straight, vertical design or a more crisscross pattern. It's also a great option if you're looking to add a touch of nature to your garden without overwhelming the space. Seventh idea, the pallet fence. Now let's get a little creative. If you're someone who loves DIY projects and has a sense of adventure, a pallet fence could be just the thing for you. Pallet fences are an affordable and eco-friendly option that can be built in a variety of ways. With a little creativity, you can transform old shipping pallets into a charming rustic fence that fits your style. A few months ago, my Aunt Elaine, who's in her 60s, decided to try her hand at building a pallet fence. She had a few extra pallets lying around, and with a coat of paint and some wire mesh, she created a beautiful rustic fence that added so much character to her backyard. Elaine's fence became a favorite project, and she even found ways to use the pallets to build garden planters and small seating areas, creating a cozy, multifunctional space. The beauty of a pallet fence is that it's not only affordable but also customizable. You can leave the wood natural for a more rustic look, or you can paint it to suit your personal style. If you're a DIY enthusiast, this is the perfect weekend project to take on, and you'll have a one-of-a-kind fence that adds charm and personality to your garden. Eighth idea, the stone and wood combination fence. Finally, let's talk about a timeless, sturdy, and gorgeous option. The stone and wood combination fence. This style combines the natural beauty and durability of stone with the warmth of wood, creating a stunning fence that can last for decades. I recall my cousin Mark, who spent years dreaming about building a stone and wood fence around his garden. After saving up for a few years, he finally got to work, mixing large stone slabs with wooden posts and beams. The end result was breathtaking. A beautiful stone and wood structure that gave his garden a luxurious, earthy feel. Mark said the fence felt like it belonged in a fairy tale, and every time he walked through his garden, it felt like stepping into another world. The stone and wood fence is a bit more labor-intensive than some of the other options, but the payoff is well worth it. The stone creates a solid foundation, while the wood adds warmth and texture. If you're looking for something durable, beautiful, and sophisticated, this is an option that will give you years of enjoyment. Just because you watched till this point, this is a bonus tip for you to build a beautiful garden fence. We've talked about the types of fences you can build, but how do you integrate them into your garden design? How do you make sure that your rustic fence not only looks amazing but also complements the other elements in your backyard? In this part, we'll show you how to tie it all together and make sure your fence fits perfectly within your outdoor space. First step. Consider the purpose of your fence. Before you begin the actual design or installation process, take a moment to think about the purpose your fence will serve. Is it purely decorative, or do you need it to provide privacy or security? Is it meant to create a boundary, or are you looking for something that will define different spaces within your garden? For example, my neighbor Mary, in her early 80s, decided to add a fence not only for beauty, but also to provide a little privacy from the street. She had a small front yard, and while she loved the view, she didn't always want people walking by and looking in. So she opted for a taller, more enclosed fence. She chose a combination of wooden planks and wrought iron, which created a sturdy, private barrier, while still allowing her to enjoy her garden from the inside. On the other hand, if you just want a decorative fence that adds charm without too much privacy, you can choose a lower picket fence or a bamboo option that lets you see through. The key here is thinking about what matters most to you, whether it's seclusion, security, or simply a beautiful design. Second step, choose complementary landscaping. Once you've determined the purpose of your fence, it's time to think about how the fence will work with the rest of your garden. A rustic fence is often best paired with plants and flowers that match its natural feel. Think of wildflowers, climbing vines, or shrubs that can either frame your fence or grow along it, creating a beautiful backdrop. I remember when my friend Ed, a retired carpenter in his late 70s, installed his stone and wood combination fence. It wasn't just the fence itself that made his backyard special. It was the way he framed it with plants. He planted climbing roses along the wood sections, and over time they started to climb up the posts, creating a romantic secret garden feel. Ed didn't just build a fence, he created a space that felt alive and vibrant. Another wonderful option is to plant vines like wisteria or ivy, which can wind around your fence and create a lush green canopy. If you're looking for something a little more structured, climbing hydrangeas or clematis can provide beautiful blooms that make the fence feel like part of your garden's landscape. Third step, add personal touches and accents. A rustic garden fence can become a true reflection of your personality if you add personal touches and little accents that make it uniquely yours. These can include things like hanging lanterns, rustic garden signs, or even old garden tools you've repurposed into artwork. A good friend of mine, Sarah, recently added a few antique watering cans to the posts of her woven willow fence. The metal cans, with their chip paint and weathered look, added to the rustic vibe and brought a sense of history to her garden. Sarah's backyard became more than just a space. It became a place that told a story. Another idea is to use upcycled materials to add character to your fence. For instance, Old window frames or shutters can be hung from the top of your wooden fence, adding height and dimension, or you could place small flower boxes or potted plants on the top of your fence, bringing color and texture to your garden. Fourth step, focus on the details. The little details are what truly elevate a rustic fence. For example, how the fence meets the ground is just as important as the materials you use. You could add gravel or stepping stones leading up to the fence, which not only creates a lovely path, but also keeps the fence looking neat and well-maintained. Another detail to consider is the color or finish of your fence. While natural wood is always beautiful, some people choose to stain their fences to enhance the texture and grain of the wood, or to give it a more polished look. If you're going for the weathered rustic feel, you might choose to let the wood age naturally, allowing it to develop a beautiful patina over time. When you add these details, your fence becomes more than just a boundary. It becomes part of your garden's heart and soul, bringing warmth and charm to your backyard. The beauty is in the small things, whether it's the way the sunlight dances off the wood or the soft rustling of leaves along the fence as the wind blows through. Fifth step, maintain your fence and garden to ensure that your rustic fence continues to look beautiful for years to come. Regular maintenance is essential. Many of the materials we've talked about, like wood and bamboo, are durable, but they do require a bit of care. For example, you'll want to treat your wooden fence to prevent rotting, and if you've opted for a bamboo fence, check occasionally for signs of wear from the elements. As for your plants and flowers, regular pruning and weeding will keep everything looking neat and healthy. I've seen so many beautiful gardens fall into disrepair simply because the maintenance was neglected, so staying on top of it can make a world of difference in how your space feels. One thing that's important to remember as we get older is that maintaining our gardens should never feel like a burden. It's all about working at your own pace and finding joy in the process. Whether it's trimming back the vines or painting a section of your fence, take it slow and enjoy the little victories. At the end of the day, your rustic garden fence isn't just about creating a boundary. It's about creating a space that reflects who you are, a place that brings you joy, peace, and a sense of accomplishment. Whether you're enjoying a morning coffee by your new wooden picket fence or relaxing with a good book under the shade of a bamboo structure, your garden can become your own personal oasis. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to build a rustic fence. It's all about what speaks to you and fits your vision for your garden. Whether you choose a DIY project or hire a professional, the process of bringing your ideas to life can be incredibly rewarding. Thank you for joining us on this journey through rustic garden fence ideas. We hope you feel inspired to get out there and create your dream backyard, no matter your age or experience. The best part? It's never too late to start. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more tips on transforming your outdoor space. And don't forget to leave a comment below. We'd love to hear about your own garden projects or any questions you may have. Here's to living your best life in the garden, no matter how old you are. Happy gardening.